Welcome back to the After Dark podcast where we discuss topics that are none of our business. It's your boy Black Mike on the mic. Big Stir up top in the fucking picture frame. You already know what it is. What this nigga eating some nuts, bro? You got some
got some nuts in my mouth.
Oh damn. Honey salted?
Honey roasted, bro. You ain't no other way. Shout out Aldi, Southern Grove, bro. That's the best shit.
Bro, that Drake picture really got you acting up, bro. Drake picture got Sterling acting different these days. All right, yo, make sure you like and subscribe. Ring the notification bell so you never miss an After Dark episode. Give us 5 stars. Leave a comment on whatever audio platform you are listening to. We are back, son, the week before the Super Bowl. And, vibes are, they're in. We're in the schools, whatever. But we'll get into that later. Big Stir, how you doing, man? How you feeling? How are the vibes?
Yeah, it's good, man. Obviously, a lot of stuff we talked about prior to the pod and, some things going on in my personal life. Good things and bad things. Or not necessarily, just not directly to me, but some stuff that's worrisome. But we're hanging in there. Got to land a new job, so starting that in a couple weeks here. So that's exciting. Money
boy Stir.
Yeah, always doing that, looking for an international company, which is sick. I've always wanted to, and in a space that I'm very familiar with. So looking to be in PC this year and be flying out. Hopefully, better to fly out to the UK at least once this year because they got an incentive for that as well. They'll hopefully better hit Cabo and then UK at least once this year just for work. So that'd be sick.
Light
work. Working our ass off.
Light work. 1%ers out here. You know what it is. You already know what it is.
Yeah. I gotta get the passport though, bro. I can't.
I need to get a passport too, bro.
That's why. For real. Yeah, that's true. They say we never leave, but that's what I had to go home. Part of the reason I got to go home, like I was telling you, because I got to go get some identification stuff. But yeah, man, we're good, hanging in there, and right now just like in a hiatus between my last role and this role, this new role, and so I've been kind of cooped up. Glad we're doing this today. Obviously, we're going to talk about a few different things today. Super excited. I think it's one of the better dockets we've had. We've had some good ones, over this year. I think we've had some pretty solid ones. It's just subsequent music has been kind of lackluster for a majority of it.
It's the beginning of the year, though. Beginning of the year is always kind of light for music. I mean, we did get 21 right out the gate. About to get Don Toliver. I'm not even going to put that in the air, but possibly get Kanye this Friday. But we'll see. We'll see if we actually get a Kanye album this Friday. I'm not going to get my hopes up, but that would be absolutely lit. But speaking of music, the grand ceremony of all music, the dream of all artists to get recognized for whatever reason, because it's not, if you're a black artist, I don't know why it's your dream, because you ain't never going to get recognized. But we are talking about the Grammys. The Grammys, if you missed it, you probably are like 70% of the United States who cut it on or just didn't even know it was coming on. I feel like Grammys have the worst marketing of all time, too. Like, I feel like
I don't know what's coming on.
Yeah, I always find out like the day of. Like I'll see some tweet or I'll start seeing the pictures of people like on the carpet for the Grammys. Like, oh shit, that's coming on. So yeah, but anyways, we're gonna get into it all. Well, I don't know how much we're gonna get into it. I didn't watch the whole thing just to be blunt. I cut it off 15, 20 minutes. After Billie Eilish's performance, I kind of like lost track and just got bored of it. It's really boring. But what everybody's talking about is not even really the Grammys itself, but Jay-Z pulling the absolute most Kanye move. And if you really think about it, so Jay-Z came on the stage and he basically had some words to say. He was defending his wife, Beyonce, which we all know. He was talking about how she has the most Grammys in all time, but has never won Album of the Year. He was talking about how some people are going to get robbed and some people didn't even deserve to be on the ballot. So he really went Kanye on all of us, but he kind of had this like mob boss, CEO, businessman kind of mentality of way going about it. Like he said it in the most like respectable kind of like he got laughs from everybody else. And the way Kanye did it, everyone was kind of like, it was like the Will Smith Oscar situation. But
yeah.
Anyways, I digress. Sterling, is it time for us to move on from the Grammys after black people are constantly getting the short end? How come Rap Album of the Year is not even televised, even though it's probably one of the most notable awards that they could show on a global scale?
Yeah, I mean, well, one, I think this conversation has been coming up for like years on end at this point. And people like Taylor Swift, people like Billie Eilish, some of these unknown artists are going to have the opportunities to be winning Grammys and where in reality they shouldn't be. And it's been this way for years. I mean, any person of color, not just a black person, any person of color has probably realized this more than anything, specifically over the past decade and a half. And we talk about artistry, we talk about influence, we talk about all these other things on the pod. But what we fail to realize is that the Academy, the Recording Academy, is they're literally just a bunch of old white people, white dudes in particular, right? And they're supposed to be the judges of what good music is. All right, let me just break it to you. Unfortunately, we don't listen to Frank Sinatra every day like they used to, brother. And in that case, I'm not hating on Frank Sinatra. I think Frank Sinatra has great music. Don't get me wrong. But we're talking about on a year-to-year basis that, you know, we're having people that are completely unqualified to be there. Let me just break this down for you real quick, okay? Let me just 1 second. First off, Lana Del Rey should not be in any conversation for anything in terms of music. Now, I do like her old music, you know, whatever. That's all good and great. She has a great voice. That's fantastic. I think she's a phenomenal singer, genuinely. Album of the Year nominees. Let me just break this down. There's 8. There's one winner, and we know the winner was Midnights by Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift, I guess rightfully so, should have probably won it just because she basically was that bitch this past year.
Yeah.
But one of the nominees being SZA with SOS, and obviously the producers on that. Then John Batiste, Miley Cyrus, Mike Will made it, that whole crew on Endless Summer Vacation. Then a Lana Del Rey album. Did you know that there's a tunnel under something? I didn't even know she had an album.
I didn't either. Wasn't there clips of her working at Waffle House? Like, how's this bitch winning a Grammy and working at Waffle House like a few months ago?
I don't even know. And then you had Guts with Olivia Rodrigo. I think she probably deserves some honorable mention on that, which is fine. Phoebe Bridgers, The Record, and then Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe should have been in the R&B category. I believe she might have been, but I don't think she should have been the Album of the Year category. That's just my personal opinion.
She should have been the Titties of the Year.
Yeah. We can legitimately get to that if that's something we want to go down on. But we try to keep it professional, but we try to keep it lighthearted at the same time. But let's just think about it. If you put those 8 albums, obviously, like we said, Taylor Swift with Midnights won. The only album that even comes near it to any capacity is SOS. And that's not even close to what Midnights was and the effect and what it had. Let's put it into another state. There's 3 people on this artist on this list that were of color. I mean, I guess Olivia Rodrigo, but we won't call her white for now.
She's of color? What is she?
She's definitely Hispanic to some degree. She has the Hispanic descent, but we won't keep her white for now. She looked white. She act white.
She's probably a white girl and has associated herself as a white girl majority of her life. So
yeah, and you know who you are, the ladies that we're talking about. We ain't hating on you. We know how it is. That's just what it is, brother. But to put in that perspective and going on to what Jay-Z was saying, there is no reason that Beyonce has the most Grammys and has not won Album of the Year. It makes no logical sense, right? If you're winning Best Song, Best New Artist, Best this, Best that, the other, you would think you'd probably win Album of the Year unless you're just a straight up one-hit wonder, right? If you're a one-hit wonder and you know you're a one-hit wonder, you should not expect to win Album of the Year, right? But Beyonce is the queen bee. We've said this, and everybody knows this. She's the second coming of the type of influence that she had at her time, at her peak, like Michael Jackson, at her peak, like I said. And the type of hold she had on not just women, but men for other reasons, but her music was still good. obviously she isn't at that place now, but she does put together projects. That's the difference. She doesn't just drop singles like a lot of these other artists nowadays do to get those one hits, to get those TikToks. She's dropping projects to show artistry. And that's what the Academy apparently wants to see. But I mean...
Well, yeah, and I think the biggest problem with what's going on with the Grammys is kind of there's a painted line of what they're voting on criteria. One, the criteria for what the votes are should be public knowledge, right? Like we should be able to publicly, as a group of collectives, kind of infer who's going to win this award based off of whatever categories they have. But there's a difference in how they're viewing this. So Grammys are viewing they're viewing it from an artistical standpoint, which is awesome, and I get it. This is the most prestigious music awards, so you want to give it to very prestigious musical performances throughout the year. But the difference and the disconnect that comes from the average person is that they're not really even taking into account what we listen to. Like what we listen to as people is not being accounted for in these Grammys. So it's like, and don't get me wrong, Killer Mike's album, he won Best Rap Album. It is a really cool rap album. And when you talk about rap at its purest form, it probably was the most pure rap album out there this year. But from a fan standpoint, with all of us tuning in and watching this, majority of the people haven't heard that album. Like, that album's not being played like that. Like, I was looking at the Spotify plays, and, they have, 3 million plays on a track. Like, that album's not getting played like that. So, yeah, it might be made up really nice. It might be sonically perfect, and all this, the production might be super high and whatnot. But if we're not resonating with it as a fan base, then how is it winning these prestigious awards? And that's where these people keep getting robbed from, because we're, Travis Scott not winning anything at the Grammys this year. I personally think that makes no sense. Like Utopia was, a very, and even from an artistical standpoint, Utopia seemed like something that the Grammys would fall in love with. Like they would be all over it.
Yeah.
More so than Astroworld.
Yeah, you talk about sonically, just from a sonic standpoint and production standpoint. In my opinion, I agree with you, I would have thought that the Grammys and the Recording Academy, wow, the way they changed, specifically Telekinesis, that song in and of itself, how that transitioned, and then his transitions throughout the album and how it meshed together in terms of a timeline, all types of other things. But if you look at, specifically, if we're talking about the rap album of the year, like I said, like you said, Killer Mike, dope album, cool. I mean, definitely something that, is artistically put together well. But if you look at the other 4 nominees, Her Loss, Utopia, Heroes and Villains, and King's Disease 3, how are we letting, and then no hate to Killer Mike, bro, no hate at all. But how are we letting someone like Killer Mike in the album Michael, no offense, Michael,
I'm Mike, so.
surpass those 4 other nominees. And into my opinion, I'm sure it was probably it was by a larger margin than we probably would even know. And that's just my opinion. If you put these in a space and you ask the average American, just the average American, obviously not all of us are as in tune with sonic and production and all that great stuff, but from a just cold on the street, you'd probably have people say Her Loss or Utopia. You probably have some Heroes and Villains there, maybe some Nas is there if you ask an old head.
You don't even have to ask the average American. Just go based off of moments. Like when you're voting for Album of the Year is very clear cut to me. Who had the biggest moment? So if you're really going to go with artsy, and if you take both into consideration, what's sonically pleasing and what had a big moment, then in my opinion, either Utopia or Heroes and Villains should have won Album of the Year.
100%.
Because they both have a good portion of both. But if you're going off of strictly moments, Killer Mike had no moment. I get that sonically it was nice, but it had no moment. There was no time that we were talking about Killer Mike unless you were on those real hip hop type podcast, like a Joe Budden podcast, New Warrior Mall. Obviously, they're going to talk about that kind of stuff because that's in their range. But that had no moment. Her loss had an insane moment. If we really want to talk about moments, her loss blows every single one of those albums out the park, son. And it could, in my opinion, in terms of just moments, could compete with SOS and Midnight's because that was everywhere. You could not scroll through your phone. And I mean, even Heroes and Villains, that was everywhere too. And he literally has a Father Stretch My Hands beat meme that's attached to any sports clip, you're the old father. That's just really used forever. So it just doesn't make any sense to me that they show year in, year out that they're not in tune with what we're listening to as people, which is why we get no satisfaction out of watching these events because we don't feel like we're being represented as a fan base on these awards. Why are the people that we like the most not winning?
That's why the VMAs to a degree surpasses a lot of the Grammys now because the VMAs are not decided by a committee. They're decided by the people. It's literally what we fought for years and years ago to have the right to vote for our leaders, et cetera, so on and so forth. Even the Teen Choice Awards, all these other things, they're all decided by the people that listen or are in contact with this type of stuff often enough to make an assumption or make a judgment off of it. Whereas this is decided behind closed doors. No one knows the criteria. We all upset when it comes out and what the hell, again, with the same shit. Who are these nominees? Who are these people? It's literally the year that U2 won Best Album of the Year. No, YouTube hacked my iTunes. They literally hacked my iTunes.
That shit's still on my phone for whatever fucking reason.
Dude. And the plays. No, people accidentally played it because they weren't trying to listen. I didn't even know YouTube, and I know YouTube's a global group. I don't listen to YouTube. I'm gonna be very honest. I don't listen to them. I have no desire to listen to them. I tried listening to them. I gave them a shot. Not my cup of tea, and that's fine. But I'm literally scrolling. I'm scrolling online through all the Grammy winners and nominees and all that stuff. Granted, there's a lot of different categories that you don't really care much about, global music performance and global music album
But that's the kind of shit that they show on the show, and I'm like, bro, nobody gives a fuck about these awards.
I don't know who they're trying to entice. First off, you're not the people that are going to keep up with this are some older heads that like to stay in touch with what's going on to a degree, and then younger people. Not saying younger people necessarily 13, 14-year-olds, but I'm saying people in their 20s and their 30s, maybe their young 40s. That's who are keeping in touch with this. Not the regular ass people that just go about their day. It's people that are gonna care about it. Record of the year, bro. I didn't even know
What won record of the year? What were give me the nominees and then who won?
The record and song. So we got two different categories. We got record and song, and it's so fucking funny. So record, Flowers by Miley Cyrus won, which in theory I can see that.
Wait, is this the one that was Paint the Town Red in that nomination group?
No, they were not. She was not in either of those.
Okay, there was one that Miley won over Paint the Town Red, and I'm I'm sorry, Flowers. Yeah, it was big, but it was never bigger than Paint the Town Red.
Yeah. So in the records category, it's literally Flowers and the What Was I Made For. I didn't even know that was a song by Billie Eilish. Be frank, Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo, Kill Bill, SZA, Worship John Batiste, Anti-Hero Taylor Swift, On My Mama Victoria Monet, and then Not Strong Enough by Boy Genius. And then it literally, so she won record of the year.
Yeah.
And then song of the year was What I Was Made For by Billie Eilish, Anti-Hero, again, Vampire, Kill Bill, Flowers, A&W by Lana Del Rey, Dance the Night, and then Butterfly. I was and I'm looking at this, I'm bruh, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing right now?
It just sounds to me, it sounds you want to use our culture but you don't want to represent us when it's time to award us. Like, what are we talking about here? You're meaning to tell me that our culture that leads and runs through America, like we are the veins, and that is where music starts today. It starts with what we put out. Like, imagine if black people said, we're not doing nothing this year. We just not going to put out no music, no nothing. I want you to see how strong the music business really is. Like, that ain't the shit. Like,
Taylor Swift is going to have to carry that shit on her back literally by herself.
Yeah.
By her fucking self.
And I have a take on Taylor Swift, too, that, like, I mean, I don't really want the Swifties coming after me because I know that can end lives and careers when the Swifties come after you. But my only question with Taylor Swift is, what does she do that's great? And I mean, maybe songwriting. I guess you could say songwriting because I guess she keeps a hit on her. But like, when we think of people like Beyonce, when we think of Michael Jackson, like when we watch those people, we can see with our eyes that that's greatness. When I watch Taylor Swift, I mean, like I know that she's bigger than life, but I don't see it when I see her.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy,
but
man.
That's just my take. Swifties. I'm thinking out loud here. You know, I'm open to suggestions. We can debate about it. We can change this back to a debate show if you want to, and we can just have a conversation about it. And I don't need you to come after me or anything like that. Don't be pulling up nothing from my past trying to get me fired from work or something like that. I don't need all that.
They will pull up your entire history. Well, I'm looking right now, right, and this is when we talk about the Grammy. So like. And to combo like Jay-Z and obviously the whole topic is here is just in terms of the Grammys in general and like how realistic and like is this like something we should care about? Because one, in the next 5 years, the Grammys will become basically irrelevant because nobody gives a fuck about them. Like I said, the VMAs, those types of music award shows are going to be way more like touted. I like the VMAs a lot. I personally do. I think the VMAs actually do genuinely, most of the time, award the people that the people would want to win. Yeah. And that's my opinion, right? And I'm sure I can look up the VMAs winners later at some point. But right now, obviously, you have Beyonce with 32 Grammys, most all time, as Jay-Z mentioned, right under or right above George Solti. If you want to ask me who he is,
I got no clue who that fuck is.
He's a conductor, apparently. He's a conductor of, I'm sure, classical. And then you got Quincy Jones at 28, Alison Krauss, Chick Corea. I'm going down. The next notable person I see is Stevie Wonder at 25.
Like how is the Grammys, like the most Grammys won, not like almost symmetrically aligned with who we think of as the greatest artists of all time? Like, to me, that makes no sense. Like, if we can have a list of the biggest, most well-known, most, just talented artists of all time, and then we have a list of the most Grammys won by those artists, if that's not somewhat aligned to our list, then, there's no credibility to what you're doing.
Well, and to go on, if you're asking yourself, we're talking about the greats and we're talking about the greatest people because you mentioned Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson only has 13 Grammy Awards. Let's just make that just a thing. And we're talking about the king of pop, literally the best artist that's probably ever going to walk this planet.
Yeah, he sold more albums dead than your favorite artist has sold in the entirety of their career. So,
yeah. I mean, let's just put that in perspective. This isn't shading Beyonce or Jay-Z or Kanye, the folks that are up there from the black community, and Stevie Wonder and those folks. But the fact that Michael Jackson was in music from basically the day in his teens, essentially.
No, since 10 years old.
Yeah, from a 10-year-old to, what, he's a 50-something, 53, 54, 55 when he died. So somewhere in the 40-plus range of years of music, and he won 13 Grammys. Let me just put this in perspective for you. That is bullshit. Like, it is a literal fact. It's a fact being it's bullshit. It'd be like, oh, bullshit's an opinion.
Can you look up how much he won during, how many Grammys he won during the Thriller season. I don't know if you could find that somewhat
How
decently.
many?
Because I have a
Grammys?
feeling that majority of those Grammys probably came after the Thriller album, and then he probably didn't see anything else after that.
Jackson savored the biggest night, the King of Pop podium, to accept 8 Grammys.
So 8 of his 13 came off of the Thriller album. And we know damn well Michael has given us way more than just Thriller.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be real here. In particular for people of color and specifically black people in the music industry, but regardless of what route you're taking, R&B, hip hop, rap, jazz, etc. Don't count on these motherfuckers. I know it's the pinnacle. I know every artist wants to win a Grammy, and I understand it. Everybody wants that little, record player, put up in their house and, show it off and, show it to their parents. And it's like a big thing because it is, in theory, the largest award show aside from the Oscars in the world. But why is this becoming so? And we like to keep it away from race, but it's hard when you're talking about music. There is a thing going on right now where it's almost like whoever's running this, which I have a very high assumption that it's old white men specifically running the academy, the recording academy. There's a power dynamic they're seeing change, because back when Frank Sinatra and all these other dudes that just so happened not to be of color were winning these Grammys, and now you're seeing like, holy shit, like all these niggas are like, they have the best shit, but we can't give them the best shit. We can't give them the Grammys. Like we have to basically make them outperform themselves to a crazy degree for them to win Grammys. Like it has to be completely undeniable for them to win Grammys. Like Thriller, for example, like my beautiful twisted Kanye's album. I'm not even trying to say it right now. My tongue's gonna get tired. Jay-Z albums and Beyonce albums and songs. They have to literally outperform themselves by like 100% for them to win.
But yeah, who did Macklemore steal his? He stole a Grammy from Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
And we know, and where the fuck is that nigga, bro? Where the fuck is that? Thrift Shop was not that fucking lit, dude. I'm sorry, it was not.
But he won album of the year. That's the thing. Album.
Over which Kendrick album?
I think it was
it don't matter which one it was. You can pick any of them, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was
The Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly, which is just stupid. Quite frankly, it's just stupid. I have no hate to Macklemore. Like, I'm not hating on him or nothing. Damn, I didn't know that nigga Kendrick was 5'5". That's crazy as fuck. But
he's really that short?
That's what the internet's saying. I think he's maybe 5'6", maybe 5'7", but
cameraman be doing him right though, because he don't be looking like he walking around like Kyle.
He looks like he's like 5'10". Like that's what he looks like.
He's just like a normal dude. Like he don't like. I've never thought of Kendrick as a short guy before.
But now he's saying it. I'm like, damn, I have to look at him differently now. Not differently, but I'm
like, damn, I'm about to size that nigga up now.
Yeah, but I know he got shooters from Compton, so I ain't trying to fuck with him.
No, you don't want to fuck with Kendrick.
No, I'd be like, hey, can you give me some bread, bro? Like, I need it. Come on. But it is an insane. Damn, that smells good. But it's a crazy thing to like even like entertain, because we know, most people watching know, like, oh, that woman didn't deserve that, or that guy didn't deserve to win that over them. Like, they know that. Like, you imagine going to the Grammys feeling like you have the best shit and not winning anything.
Well, that's why most artists don't even like they don't even show up no more. What's the point? Like,
yeah, because it's just like at that point it's just like a stunt. It's just like a thing like you do for clout. You're just pulling up to show the fit and like.
It's politics. There's definitely people behind the scenes. There's big money. There's labels. They're buying these Grammys behind the scenes. I think Tyla, she won a Grammy. Like, there's people out here who have been grinding their whole lives and have made major hits.
She won the best African. I mean, she is South African, by the way.
Yeah.
But she fired, too.
She fired. I'll make you sweat. I will make you water, baby.
I don't know if I could do that. I might get tired. But
well, I'll sweat and I will fucking.
Yeah, I'll be the one sweating. I'll be glistening. You'd be like, damn, you got that afterglow for sure. But yeah, she won the best African music performance, and the fact that they even have to have a category for that is just insane to me.
I think you can cut some of these categories down. Like nobody gives a fuck about all these.
This list is so long, bro. Like I was scrolling the entire time you were introing it, and it's so long. Like it is literally, I mean, it's anything you could think of. Songwriter, non-classical, compilation soundtrack for visual media, jazz vocal album. Like what?
Like I feel like if you go down the street and you survey 100 people, and if less than 20 people say they know who you're talking about, they're not necessarily on that Grammys. But one last thing on the Grammys too that kind of bites them in the butt is that they do this thing where they rob artists 24/7, and then on the tail end of their career, where we look back and it's like, you know, Nicki Minaj, where she didn't have a Grammy and everything, and then they gift them one. They make up for it. I don't like that either, because it's like when you do that, you are now robbing somebody else that year. Like I don't like the pity Grammy because you didn't give it to them. You need to give the Grammys to whoever deserved it that year and just keep it running. And it would be simple. And yes, some of the same people will win over and over again. Because guess what? It's the same people producing quality music over and over again. If these other niggas want a Grammy, create quality music. The music game is being carried by like 10 to 15 niggas. And bitches, you know what I'm saying? I call them all niggas, but like 10 to 15 people are carrying the music industry on their back and paying everyone's paychecks, advances, all that. It's all coming from 10 to 15 people. Yeah,
and if I was in the music industry, I'd be like, yeah, I'll keep that shit up, bro. Keep my
yeah. Hey, Trey, you got some fire in the tuck, dog. We need to get some increases on these advances.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'll say one last thing too. Obviously, you know, I'm always going to be a music fan as long as I can hear, you know. And you and I talk about music, you know, especially when big stuff's coming out, even if it's small stuff, you know. We always talk about it, and like we've said multiple times on this, is that it is part of culture. Like music is a way to translate and get people to come together. That's the point of music. Like music is specifically made for that. Like if you think back to the days when our ancestors, or my ancestors at least that I know of, were in the field, the reason they sang is because it's unity. It's like to make you feel as one. Like that's why there's people that like certain genres that hang out with each other. That's just what it is. Like I went to like a grudge or grunt like concert at like this like little pick me up bar. Like it's like a dive bar, and I don't listen to that fucking music. But I could see like the unity within the other people because they all kind of like are in that space, and they're all just nice to each other. Like they just accept the fact, you know, it's like the people that go to music festivals, which I mean most of the time those people are hopped up on fucking drugs, so that makes it easier too. But it's the feeling of unity, and when you're not awarding people in that particular category to make them feel like they're unified to a degree, like there's people in these particular genres. Rap album, hip hop, R&B, doesn't matter. And they're like they can probably be like, man, I really like that album more than this one, but like this album should have won album of the year for this particular genre. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And you know, we will, you know, we could sit here and talk about how much like the Academy and all this shit like fucks everybody over and screws everything up, you know, so much. But it's not going to change because these people until they die and they get new people in there, they're not going to change. Maybe in 30 years when they got people like our age in there fucking around with it, it might go back to the olden days. But then again, they'll be thinking of the people that we listen to now and be like, oh, they gotta win, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's a continuous cycle. Sorry, Grammys. Sorry, Academy. Unless you're trying to give me some bread to promote you or something, y'all suck. VMAs, AMAs, even the CMAs are better than you guys. And for the people that know the CMAs that don't listen to that type of music, it's Country Music Awards. And that shit do be fire low key if you do listen to a little bit of country here and there.
Well, I mean, if Chris Stapleton's performing, it's always 10 out of 10.
And speaking of country, on a note, RIP to Toby Keith.
Oh yeah,
crazy stuff happening, and prayers to his family, condolences, and everything, and
And not connected to country, but definitely warranted a prayer from the After Dark community for, just being a very pivotal part of, my upcoming as a young grown man. Prayers to Emily Willis for being hospitalized after being OD. If you don't know her, she's an adult star. She deserves all the prayers in the world. If you're somebody like me and you have enjoyed her content for free, you should be praying, my dog. You should be praying. And in fact, I know we ain't doing that no more. We're cutting that off. We don't really do that anymore. But if you wanted to hop on your phone, quick little, you know what I'm talking about, fellas. If you want to get one out in honor of what's going on there, I cannot blame you. That would be a 1% nigga move. So yeah.
Shout out Emily Willis.
Shout out. Prayers.
But staying on the music trend, recently our friends 21 Savage and Playboy Carti pulled a crazy look on my boy Adin Ross. You guys don't know Adin Ross, one of the biggest streamers in the world, probably in terms of monetary, probably right under or right around like him, Kai, XQC, those guys. During one of the streams, he streamed.
Aiden's probably way there. I think Aiden's probably the most well-off streamer.
Well, yeah, he has equity in Kick. I think like 30% or some.
And his deal was $75 million a year.
Yeah, I mean he's loaded. Guy has a fucking garage the size of an airplane terminal.
Yeah.
But so 21 Savage, to break it down for you guys, 21 Savage used some scratch cards to win $250,000. Look, we're talking about $250,000. This is chump change. It was just insane. It is insane to think about. While my boy Carti shows up 4 hours behind on some real CPT, bro. And if y'all don't know what CPT is, y'all need to just type it in on Urban Dictionary. And stayed for only 6 minutes after receiving $2 million from my man Aiden. So obviously, and I know Aiden's personality a little bit just because I've watched him even when he used to be on Twitch. But is this something that's a little out of pocket? Or do you not care at all, Mike? Like when you're looking at it and like the situation specifically with the guy like Adin Ross, with the situation 21 and Playboy, is it something we shouldn't give a fuck about, or is it like you think this is just wild?
This is all the way fucked up. And the crazy thing is, we just got finished talking about how like black people been done dirty in the music industry. All right. We getting our lip back when it comes to Aiden, I suppose, right now, because this shit would not happen to Kai. Not at all. Like, niggas wouldn't do this to Kai. They're doing it to Aiden. I was watching DJ Academics, shout out Academics, you know what it is. I was watching him, and he was talking about how these rappers look at Aiden as a quick lick, bro. 21 came in there, had scratch cards over $250K. You know he was like, if no one said anything, like, that nigga did it, bro. I don't give a fuck what he said. He looked so guilty in those videos, too. Like, my bro was, like, looking down on that table. I'm like, dog, just pick a card. Like, nah. He was tapping on cards. His friend was pointing out which one to do. Like, nah, it didn't. Playboy Carti, bro. I don't want to be attacked, but I got some suggestions. I think he's on the spectrum. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with Playboy, dog. He's either on the spectrum or he's like insanely antisocial, like introverted type dude. Like I've never seen him in like a regular kind of like one-on-one space. I wasn't watching the stream. Obviously, I don't really like watch streams like that or catch him live. I might Might watch some on YouTube or a clip or here or there if I see them scrolling around or something popular, but I don't really catch these things live. But I did want to like watch the replay back of this because I've never really seen Carti in a one-on-one situation, just kind of bulling. Like him and Adin would have just been kind of bulling up there, chilling, talking, bullshitting with the chat. I was kind of interested to see what he had to say, and they were going to talk about the new album. And I feel like that album's going to be crazy, son. I think it's going to be one of the albums this year it's going to be an absolute anthem because the three to four songs that he dropped post. I don't even think those songs are going to be on the album, and those shits are fucking fire to me. If you ask me, those songs are fire. But no, this nigga pulled in. He got the cheat code to life, bro. This nigga don't say shit and just be making money. I'm like, fuck. He broke it. But he pulls in, so Adin's sitting here for 4 hours, noticeably frustrated, noticeably pissed, and rightfully so. This nigga, Playboy, comes in with his crew. It's pitch black in there. He's got a mask on. He's standing in the darkness, not saying shit. Adin's asking him questions like, I forgot what questions he was asking him, but they're just like, man, like, yo, how you been type shit. And Carti's not answering them. and then Adin like was like, yo, the fans have been waiting for you, man. Like they're excited to see you. And all Carti says like 10 times, I love you. I love you. I love you. He just kept saying, good music. I love you. Good music, I love you. And I'm like, bro. And then so I guess Adin, I'm thinking if I'm gonna like put myself in Adin's shoes, right? I'm thinking Adin probably was like, all right, let me grab this bag of 2 million cash just sitting in a motherfucking book bag, bro. Niggas are wild. I'm not even gonna say what I got and shit. Like I don't know where y'all be listening from. Y'all might know exactly where I am. Hell no. So this nigga got 2 million in cash sitting in a book bag, and what I'm thinking he was probably doing was like, all right, let me throw this cash in this nigga's face so he can kind of perk up a little bit and entertain these fans. Like, hey, bro, like, I know you probably don't want to be here right here. You just left the Grammys. He just got finished performing Fiend with Travis Scott. So he probably didn't want to like be there. He'd be like, hey, bro, like, I know you don't want to be here. You only got to be here for an hour. Here's 2 million in cash. This nigga Carti said, oh, bro, thanks. Gives him a hug, sits down for 2 more minutes, and gets up and dips like, yeah, I'm out ski. I'm like, dude, if I was Adin, I'd be pissed. And Adin said that all he had to do was sit there for an hour to an hour and a half. They were going to give him $2 million cash, a Ferrari. They bought a Ferrari for this nigga for coming for an hour and a half. And Eddie, who is the owner of Kick, had agreed to give him a $34 million Kick deal. Basically, he agreed to give this nigga a $34 million loan for not shit. Like, here you go. Just make some Kick videos. Who knows what he had to do? He probably only had to do like a few streams, and he would have like sufficed his contract and wouldn't have to. So this nigga walked out because I don't think he ended up getting the whole $2 million. I think Adin's like told him you only get a piece of that. Like you didn't keep up your bargain. Adin also got him a jet to fly him back home after he left there. Adin called that off, which I went to. He said the team was pissed. Like, why are you calling off the jet? Like, why does nigga come in here 4 hours late and spend 6 minutes, nigga? Like, that's why I called that jet off. You look at give you any cash. I would not give this nigga not 1 ounce of cash. I'm like, bro, hell no. Nah. I'm like, nah, and now what you're gonna do, what I would have done as soon as he did that, I'm like, all right, bro, we gonna pull up that little car arrest tape that you got out there. We gonna react to this with you sitting right here, my nigga, looking like a bitch. You looking like a bitch that whole arrest. I'm like, yeah, we gonna pull this up right here, my nigga. If you don't want to talk, I'll talk about this. Nah, that shit was stupid, bro.
Honestly, bro, first of all, 21 already hit 2 licks in the past like week and a half. Shout out 21. Took $300K from my man Kai. Kai was still sad at Michelob Ultra or at the fucking game, pouting like a motherfucker. 21 didn't hit that late. 21 got his album going crazy right now. 21 is up right now. Like you talk about up, like you talk about the idea of like, oh, I'm up right now. Nah, he's up.
Yeah.
Up. Carti, I did see the clip. I did see the clip you were talking about where he's like, "I love you." I was baffled. Like I literally felt like I was becoming slow. Like I was like, am I missing something? Like is something supposed to happen? Like what's going on? But yeah, 4 hours late is OD. That's like CPT is like hour and some change, you know? But like he's on like Ugandan time. Like he on them super dark soap time. And the fact that he slid on $2 million, like you said, I mean, I know that he ain't gonna get all that $2 million for sure. Like, there ain't no fucking shot. Ain't no shot you getting $2 million from me.
You and that kind of shit for me, but
granted, it's like a drop in the bucket for Adin in reality. But I mean, I think of it like this. First off, Adin got absolutely played by 21, and Aiden's just like he's naive as fuck. Like I've watched someone who used to be on Twitch. Like, he is a naive motherfucker. Like, he does some of it for entertainment, but I do genuinely believe he's naive as fuck. He's just he's like 21, 22 maybe.
With all the money in the world, bro, you know he don't know how to fucking act, bro.
He doesn't know how to act at all, bro. And he's a Jew. Oh, damn, I had to...
Oh, yeah. Yo, wait. Kanye, dog. Yo, is that Kanye in that picture frame? I got a picture of Kanye on my wall or some shit. What the fuck?
Nah, just joking. But no. And then like the Carti situation, like I agree with or not agree with you. I'm like with you. Like I've never seen Carti in any type of social atmosphere where he had to speak.
No, I can't think of an interview or any interaction where he's just being normal.
That's why I hit Travis Scott that song. That music video was like it was all black and they were just like raging. Him and Travis Scott probably got along because Travis Scott don't pick his head up and then Carti just like and Travis like
Travis Scott might as well be Stevie Wonder because this nigga ain't seen not shit in front of him his whole entire life.
Bro, I mean that dude might have that hump everybody gets from like looking at their phone too much. He might low-key have that hump on his back right now, that hunchback type shit.
Nah, bro, just know he ugly.
Hey, money will do a lot for you, bro. Money will do a crazy thing.
But also for Carti's sake, there was 400,000 people in there, dude. Like, that's not, for starters, shout out to Adin, bro, because, we can say what we want about this nigga, but he is crushing it, and he's probably the king of his streamer shit. Like, Kai it's between him and Kai, bro. Like, Kai does a lot of crazy shit.
I think Kai is more light than Adin.
But Adin's the godfather, bro. He started this whole trend of streaming shit. Yeah. Like, this hip-hop culture of streaming shit. He started that whole wave, and he's probably put more people on, too. Like, there's a lot of fucking babies that came through Adin, like Neon and a bunch of people that came through Adin.
Well, it's the thing with like the Tory Lanez situation. Like the Tory Lanez, that rap. First off, free my nigga Tory. Fuck you, Meg Thee Stallion. I fucking hate you.
Yeah, you glass fragment ass bitch. No, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh man.
Stay up on your good food.
Let me stop. But shout out Tory, but like that stream, like Adin was already reputable. That's when he was in the old house. Like, I want y'all to put this shit in perspective for real. Like, look at the cribbo that he's at now, bro. Like, he's in another world. The shit that Drake was talking about, the Bibelos to the Vava, back to that shit. Adin knows what that is.
Yeah,
he knows exactly what that is. Oh, I know exactly what he's talking. That's that one time. Like Adin's the type of dude, and don't take this the wrong way, people that are listening. He's the type of guy that would have got invited to Epstein Island.
Oh, for sure. And Drake even said it in his song. He said, "All my young niggas richer than all you." I forgot, and they all stream. I'm pushing the hell out of that shit. I'm not a rapper.
Yeah. Bro. Yeah. Well, I mean, he basically said that. It wasn't a very rhythmic line, but he was just giving a shout out like Kai and obviously those boys. Drake needs to hit one of the licks on Kai's stream. That shit would go dumb.
So what would go crazier? A Drake Kai stream or Drake Adin stream?
I think Drake Kai. I think Kai is better with them because he obviously he's black, and I think he's just cooler than Adin. And like the whole crew they got in the Amp House, like they kind of all like hype each other up and they vibe out with it, and like they're all like super vibey. Whereas like Adin's a vibe, but people like you said, I mean, people just take advantage of Adin. Like they just think he's a dumb kid. They're paying him to be there, all that shit. Like, and he paying.
And he just be throwing bread around, bro. He be paying it.
I don't even think. If you want to be honest, I don't even think Kai, if he is paying them, I don't think he's paying them anywhere near what Adin's even trying to pay these niggas. Like, even near. Like, Offset stayed for 24 hours. He had a sleepover, bro.
I'm surprised, I'm honestly surprised that Adin felt the need to pay Carti that much, bro. Like, I feel like they're at a point now where these rappers need them more than the streamers do. The streamers going to do what they do. They bring anybody on, and that's just going to go crazy. Like, they don't need you to hop on that stream. Like, it's really the artist that gets the most out of it than the streamer does, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, Kai continuously blows up. Like, Kai was on the Sidemen, by the way. And if you don't know who the Sidemen are, KSI. That's all I have to say. Like, he was on the Sidemen 20 versus 1. If you ever watched that video, bro, like, those ones with, like, Speed in him. Speed's one is funny as fuck, dude. And
Speed might actually be the king of that shit, honestly. I forgot about Speed, bro. He's global.
Bro. Dude, that dude is because he's insane, but he's a good kid. I think he really is a good kid. And he's also like 20, 21. Like Kai's 22, 23. All these guys are young. They know the influence they can have. And like Kai talks about it like in the interview with Complex. Like, I think that, like I've said, I think the rappers have more respect for Kai, not only because he's black, but the way that he's came up. Whereas Adin is just like a kind of a nerdy kid who like people still get along with because he's just like kind of weird and like vibey. He's on that gay, or nothing wrong with being gay, right? But he's on that like fake gay shit. Like he'd be saying like super out of pocket like
if
stuff.
Adin wasn't big, those rappers wouldn't fuck with him. Kai, on the other hand, if he was like slightly smaller than what he is now, I think those rappers would still be fucking with him like he is now. Kai's just a more likable person, like you said, basically. But, you know, there's also another topic that I kind of want to get into that's making me think about the streamer stuff, unless you had another thought on which we... All right. So
No.
There's it kind of makes me think about... So streaming is going crazy right now, right? Like these young kids are making a bunch of money off of streams. Where is this going to go? Because personally, I feel like IRL streaming and everything they're doing, like I feel like it's going to end... Like there's no doubt in my mind that there's going to be something absolutely crazy that happens on live stream that's going to be fucking terrible. Like some terrible ass shit. Because all they're doing is we got to be crazier than the last one. It's like a stack on stack on stack. I gotta do better. I gotta top what I did last time. And that kind of content creation usually does not end well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that with the streaming thing in general, on a general point, I have to shout out my boy Chad, not the black one we know, but the white one. I have to shout out my boy Chad for putting me on Twitch years and years ago when we were just like watching Fortnite and like the ninja stuff and like all that jazz, just like from a gaming perspective. I have to shout him out there because I would probably never even know what it was. I didn't even know what it was when he introduced me to it. And that's when it was still like coming up, right? And obviously Twitch is part of Amazon now, and Amazon just owns fucking everything at this point.
And they're ruining Twitch, by the way.
Yeah, they ruin just about everything they touch. But Jeff Bezos doesn't give a fuck, and his wife don't give a fuck either.
The richest woman alive because of divorce. That's crazy.
Sign a motherfucking prenup especially if you got the type of bread for the boys out there. And I'm not hating on you ladies, but we know it's just as easy to find another dude that got something similar to the next guy.
I saw this one lady that said something about a prenup that I thought was the smartest thing ever. She like looked at this, so she was having a debate because she didn't believe in prenups and how like she didn't believe in because you were married that the wife when it's over can just take half of what the guy owns. Yeah. And she was arguing with this other girl, and the girl was like, why don't you believe in that? Like, we deserve half and everything like that. And she had the best comeback of all time, and I can't wait to use this on somebody. She said, so if you're going to take half of everything he owns when they divorce, does he get to keep beating it for the rest of his life? And I'm like, yo, because that might be like, I was like, that makes sense. It's like, that makes sense. We got to get something too, shit.
Yeah, I mean, sign the motherfucking prenup, bro. Like, even with that, I said that shit. I said to her, I said, if this ever happens, like, we're getting, it's not even like that I don't trust you or nothing like that. I just know things happen. Like, things happen. It's just what it is. We're human beings. It's an unfortunate thing about, especially this day and age of marriage, with the divorce rate of like 53% in the United States, which is just absurd. But if you're a brother or even a sister, right? Don't let your partner just slide in on you for a few years, love bomb you for the time to get that money and dip out, because they gonna get theirs, brother. Like, they gonna get theirs if you don't sign that prenup. But if you're talking about the streaming standpoint, like, I'm scared for these streamers to get married, because they got crazy looking women be trying to mess with them, like supermodel type women, and then
they're not getting married, bro. They too deep in the celebrity. You know that shit don't work. They're not getting married.
Oh, yeah, it's like they have about 4 different relationships. You look up like a celebrity's history. They're like, got married to this person, got married to this person, got married to this person. FYI, bro, find your peace, brother. Find your peace, and that's all you need, my guy. But like, when it comes from a streaming standpoint, I do agree with you to a degree, not exactly. But like, I understand what you're saying. Like, there's only things that can happen. They're real, not only bad things, but there is going to be some bad shit that eventually will happen, and there will be. I think that's comes with everything that like grows. There's always going to be hiccups and things that are going to happen that could deter whatever momentum that's being gained in the time. But I also believe there's certain streamers that are capable to let those things happen, those bad things in particular to happen. I think there's guys, unfortunately, I think there's guys like Adin who would allow those things to happen, but somebody like on a similar level, like Kai wouldn't let it happen. But I think somebody like a Jinxie. Jinxie just did a stream with Brecky Hill. Yeah. Which crazy, because if he did not get cheeks out of that, you fucked up. I'm sure he got something out of there. I mean, like, money talks for itself.
Oh yeah, she seems like the type that like.
Yeah. I've seen the videos. I've seen it. But those. I mean, there's some certain guys or most all ran by guys concerning the IRL stream thing right now, but certain guys that I think will let that happen, but there's certain other guys that I don't think they would allow it to get to that point because they're cool enough that they don't have to go too over the top.
Well, I feel like the ones that like do the sit down and review and just kind of play games or just kind of talk to the chat. Those aren't necessarily the ones that I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to mainly like the IRL streamers who are out and about doing crazy shit in real life, like maybe like a Neon type or that Jack. What's that dude's name? Jack Doherty or whatever his name is.
He's a fucking loser, dude.
Fucking
that sucks.
See, I can see a fucked up scenario happen where someone's streaming live and a death is caught on live, like some wild ass shit. Yeah. Some niggas out here tries the wrong person, and that shit's just caught on live, and that is going to be fucking traumatic. Like, imagine like a big ass streamer has 100, 200,000 people in there, and a death is caught on live type shit, or some wild foul shit is caught because niggas are doing some crazy shit in public and got no business doing that shit, bro. Like, that's all I'm speaking to. And I don't think that it's like streaming is bad. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say the culture at which getting hot through streaming right now, I think is somewhat problematic. That I have to do the crazy shit. And what's different than other platforms, this is all live. Like, you do a YouTube video and you're trying to do crazy shit. If some crazy shit happens, you just edit out and never put it out. If some crazy shit happened on live, bro, like, everybody's seeing that. Yeah, clip that shit's everywhere instantly, bro.
Yeah.
Like when fucking Jinxie, when Brecky sat on his lap and he claimed he wasn't bricked up, and she looked down. I mean, that shit was everywhere, and
Hey, shout out my boy. Shout out Jinxie. I've been consuming a little bit of his content. This dude's funny as fuck. He's a nerd, but he's fucking funny as fuck.
I've kind of fucked with some of these streamers, bro. They're like, the content is the way I feel like it's so mindless that it's really good shit to just kind of put on, and I don't have to pay attention to it, but I can kind of look up, and I do find myself like, I kind of like, there's something relaxing about just watching people just kind of chill.
Interact and just be normal.
It's like ASMR, I feel like.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, I had this thought, and it could be detrimental to from a mental health standpoint. It definitely is. But, like, most of the time if you're watching streams, you're not watching streams with other people. You're usually by yourself, like, chilling, doing whatever you're doing. You could be doing errands in your house, cleaning, etc. Sometimes you sit there and focus on it for a little bit of time. Like, I do that sometimes. And then I'll start doing something else. But if you sit there for like long periods of time and like watch, I think it can become detrimental to your health to a degree mentally, just because of the ideology that people are like, oh, look, I'm getting my entertainment and I feel like I'm being attached and like caring and like.
A lot of it's younger kids living vicariously through these people. And, these young ass niggas be horny as a motherfucker, bro. Yes. Niggas chats be crazy. The moment you bring a Brecky or a Sky Bree or any one of them hoes on fucking live stream, them niggas be going crazy. But I can't blame them, though. Every time I watch some shit, so I'm like, that's the only thing I care about.
I've seen some streams with like I watched a lot of the streams with damn, these niggas better not lose. I watched a lot of the streams I watched the streams with like Sky Breeze just like chilling, or like when the OF girls come on, bro, I can't cap. Like I'd be locked in, brother.
I'd be locked in. I'd be watching like all the subtle movements. Like, oh shit. I'd be hoping chat be mentioning some shit. I'd be like, hey.
It's a weird thing, bro, because it's so weird, dude. It's so weird.
Well, it's so real that it's hard not to like. It's hard not to live vicariously through them when you're watching it. Like when I see them OnlyFans girls, the only thing I'm thinking about is if she was looking at me or, fucking around with me that way, I'd cut that motherfucking camera off.
I'd be like, hey, let's give it like 2 minutes real quick. Hey, chat, give it like 2 minutes real quick, bro. Hey, let me do this real fast. I'll be back.
Power to them people, because them niggas be about their business, bro. Like, they really don't even be giving them no attention. Like, they be paying attention to the chat. I would fuck that chat, bro.
I'm like, hey, y'all can hear, like, I'll keep the audio on, but the camera going.
I'm like, hey, yo, chats, you want to see me smash? W smash in the chat. W smash in the chat.
Like, I think that right now, that Jake or Jack Daughtry kid, I hope somebody just beats his ass on stream. I'm sorry.
I fucking hate that nigga. His girl's bad.
That he's the worst. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because that kid doesn't even deserve to be with that girl. From a physical standpoint, at least. I don't know what type of daddy issues or her type of stuff is going on, but hey, not saying daddy issues are a bad thing. I mean, for a wifey it is, but let's not jump on that one. But where we go from here is the sense. I think more or less what I was trying to say, what I was more or less entering in earlier, is like people more and more new people that get into the IRL streaming. I think that's when you could see those things happen. And it may not be a ton of people in that chat or in that video call or whatever the situation, the stream itself when it happens, but the fact that they get clipped and they move through the internet and the way the internet fluctuates stuff so quickly or moves information so quickly, that's when I think it can become like a new guy comes on the block, say he's been doing it for like 7-8 months and somehow he gets like 1,000 viewers pretty quick, and like, he starts doing some crazy stuff because he's getting more viewers, and he's got to get up to like that Kai level, that Adin level, that Jinxie level, Neon, etc. Neon had Ruby Rose.
Yeah, bro, that shit, bro. I watched the last one where they went to dinner and they went to NLE Choppa's. Like, I saw Ruby. I'm watching it. I'm sorry. 3 hours, 4 hours. I don't care. I'm watching that shit, bro. That bitch.
Hey, Ruby, do 360 for us for like an hour.
360s for the chat. Bro, I'll be blaming everything on the chat. If I was a streamer, I'm gonna be calling shit out that's not even there. Like, oh, this nigga wants you to kiss me.
Like you got for a kiss? I watched her after interview with Bradley Martin, how she talked. Like, wasn't even really like that, but like, because he like.
She got an interview with Brad.
Yeah, she was talking about how like she gave like Neon advice about his girl, and he's like, you know, fuck the internet. Like, he really does like that girl a lot, and like blah blah blah. I'm like, no, she's a hoe, bro. Like, you need to keep it moving.
Oh, they're done now. So, fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, she's a smart girl though. She did exactly what she was there for.
Well, was it on Raw Talk?
Huh?
Was it on Raw Talk?
Whatever the one is, I think he does with. I want to say it's the one he does with Sarah, but I also want to say I don't know the names of his pods. I just see the clips.
I didn't know you'd be locked in like that. I'd be kind of locked into that. I don't know, like I said, locked in, but I definitely like see what's going on in that kind of context.
Yeah, it's YouTube, man. YouTube Shorts are insane because like I'm like so locked in on the YouTube Short stuff, and that's where I see a lot of the stuff. Like in my, it's not curated the same TikTok as, but the way TikTok's curated is just insane. But they do a good job of like pushing some of that content that I would I would watch.
Reels is getting really fucking good, to be honest. Like, yeah, I used to not ever use Reels, and I find myself, like, I'll slide up on the Reels tab, and I noticed, like, I got lost in that bitch. I'm like, damn, like, the algorithm's getting pretty good for Reels. Like, well, you know Facebook or Meta's going to be on top of that shit, like.
Yeah, they be stealing your information still. Don't think they ain't taking your information.
Oh, they got I think they said Meta has, like, the largest, like, database of just data on people. And it would blow your mind. Like, Mark Zuckerberg said it would blow your mind how much data they have on people. Like, like they could probably predict your next move. They got so much data on your ass.
That's scary. I mean, yeah, I've always been a big fan of Reels, but like as I've gotten big in the Reels, that's what got me on TikTok again. Because it's like, oh, I need a little bit more of a repetitive thing, which is fucking crazy that my brain even like processes it that way. But yeah, man, it's a crazy thing that's going on in the streaming world. I'm really happy that, you know, normal guys, like, because these guys are all just normal dudes, like normal. And to be quite frank, they would be nothing without this. Like, I'm not even saying, like, I think Kai's a cool dude. I think Jinxie's funny as hell. I think Aiden's got his own thing going on. Like, all these guys, like, regular ass dudes, bro. Regular as fuck. And wouldn't even get any attention from some of these girls or really just any people in general without this platform. And now they've been able to show their personality and who they are. I think it's really cool from a wholesome standpoint, I guess. And, but to speak on something that's not so wholesome is something that we don't give a fuck about at this point. It's unfortunate. The fucking Super Bowl. Super Bowl 50, whatever the fuck it is. Honestly, I don't even fucking care. Chiefs versus the Chiefs, or
that's basically what it should be.
49ers versus the refs, or the Chiefs, aka the Chiefs. Let's just get into it. I mean, shout out Patrick Mahomes' dad for getting the DWI, bro. You're an idiot. Sorry, bro. I don't care what type of shit that if Patrick ends up seeing this, I don't care. Your dad's dumb as fuck for that.
You know, Patty's pissed as fuck. The last thing I want to be dealing with on Super Bowl week is my dad being arrested. It's all over social media.
I guess his mom and his kid are the only ones that haven't fucked up yet because the brother's fucked up doing some dumb shit. His wife don't shut the fuck up. His dad out here getting DWIs. Like his kid.
Is his mom around? I haven't even seen his mom before.
I think I saw something of his mom. She just there, you know, being a mom, you know, of a mixed kid that making $500 million a year, you know.
She milfy?
Huh?
She milfy?
No. From what I remember, no. And I'm thinking about.
I didn't know Daddy Pat was, you know, beating up a milfy. Shit.
Daddy Pat looks like a crackhead. So I mean,
looks like a whole ass crackhead. He's so
let's
lit
be
that
honest.
son is Patrick Mahomes, dog.
Like, he would be, his life would honestly probably suck if his son wasn't Patrick Mahomes. And I'm not even saying, like, my dad's a normal ass dude. Like, he look a little goofy. All our dads look a little goofy as they get a little older, but there's still the dads that, we all know they were the young, swabby guys at one point. Like, my dad ain't never looking like no damn crackhead like that. Ain't never. I don't care if he weighed 300 pounds. I'd be cool with that and him look like damn Patrick Mahomes, bro. And that makes sense why Patrick Mahomes turned out the way he is. Dorky ass looking motherfucker. But who knows? He might have been handsome at one point. I'll look into it later. But 49ers versus the Chiefs. We've got the Monstars versus the refs. The Monstars versus the young goat in Patrick Mahomes. Let's just get into it. What we talked about a prior pod, like Mike had mentioned, like a bunch of sports shows are obviously hyping up the Super Bowl because it's their job. And I don't personally hear a ton about it because I don't care about it. I just don't want to see Patrick Mahomes win, but I also don't want Christian McCaffrey to win. Shout out Christian McCaffrey, or fuck Christian McCaffrey, left the Panthers. Fuck you. And fuck you, Tepper, for trading him away. Idiot. And now we got fucking Bryce Young and no draft pick.
I will never understand your hate for Christian McCaffrey. Like,
fuck that nigga, bro. Took a year off. I need to get healthy. Let me go to the Monstars. All I need is Michael Jordan to come up in there and fucking be the beast. And I guess right now, damn, it's crazy that I'm saying this. I guess right now, Patrick Mahomes is motherfucking Michael Jordan. And we gotta fucking figure this shit out. But if I'm gonna talk off the top here, if I'm thinking about this game and how I think it's gonna, I'm not even gonna say a prediction or anything yet. Obviously, I think it's gonna be competitive to a degree. I do think there's gonna be a point in the game, I'd say somewhere in the second or third quarter, there's gonna be a pivotal moment on either side of the ball between both quarterbacks, Brock Purdy and Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, Mr. Irrelevant and the world superstar in terms of football in Patrick Mahomes right now. There's going to be a pivotal moment for both quarterbacks within those either quarter that's going to make or break the win for their team. One of them is going to make it, and one of them is going to break it. And I think in that moment in time, that will decide the Super Bowl. And
it's very obvious which one's going to break it.
Yeah, I don't want to be the guy to admit it. I don't want it to happen. But there could be – we've seen crazy Super Bowls, man. Santonio Holmes –
that is the best Super Bowl. I'm so fucking tired of people saying helmet catch is the best fucking Super Bowl.
Nah, that toe tap.
That toe tap is beautiful.
My sister and I were fucking around doing the
Y'all
toe tap.
Y'all were fucking around doing what?
No, doing the toe tap.
He said, "Oh shit."
No, that is the most fucked up shit ever, bro. Hell no. Doing like the toe tap thing, like in our backyard, like we would make like the little like end zone area and like fucking just try to create that over and over and over and over again.
No, that shit was hard. That Super Bowl was dope, and the 100, like James Harrison had the pick six from like 100 yards too.
Yeah, that Super Bowl was insane. Cardinals versus Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, Santonio Holmes,
Larry Fitz,
Kurt Warner, like an epic Super Bowl in terms of like that was 2010, I believe, too. And I remember they did the Madden cover that year was Larry Fitz and like I think that's probably one of the most bought Maddens of all time, probably.
Oh, that Madden was fire, bro. That Madden, like, I remember that vividly.
Yeah, like I remember that shit like crazy, and. Now I'm looking at this game and obviously not the same type of touted people. Obviously got Hall of Famers on both sides, eventual Hall of Famers on both sides, but not Hall of Fame quarterback. Got the Monstars, fucking Brock Purdy. I'm so tired of this nigga and tired of Patrick Mahomes. It's like, bro, who do I root for? I need to root for, like, the game to get canceled or something. I don't know. Like, I have no care aside from not seeing Patrick Mahomes win. I also don't want to see Brock Purdy lift up a Lombardi trophy. I don't know what I want more. Like
I'm going for the Chiefs, to be honest. If I have to see one of them win, I definitely don't want it to be the motherfucking 49ers that the Cowboys can't fucking beat no year. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. At least with the Chiefs winning, I can say that I'm seeing history in the making. Because like that's an official dynasty. If Mahomes gets his third one, dude, in 6 years as a starter, and if it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, and I agree with you that I think it'll come down to a pivotal moment or a few pivotal moments. But what I think is going to happen is just like the first time the Chiefs met the 49ers, I think the 49ers are going to control the game for a good portion of that game. They're going to come out hot. You know, they're probably the most eager, the most hungry to get back and rewrite their wrongs. And they've been on the cusp of, you know, doing something this big. And now they're getting a chance to relive it again against a team that they lost to. I think they're going to come out strong and they're going to come out passionate. But, you know, like I always say, it's a game of emotions. Who keeps a steady emotion the whole time? What's going to happen is 49ers are going to come out so amped up, so hyped, ready to go. They're going to come out the gate and they're going to be really strong and they're going to come out with a lead and they're probably going to hold it for a minute. And then they're going to be feeling good, bro. And that's where they're going to fuck up and that's where all the problems are going to happen because they're going to be feeling good. Their emotions are going to be running high. They're going to be happy. And the Chiefs are going to be even killed from start to finish. You're not going to see not one fluctuation in their play at all, and they're just not going to make any mistakes. They're going to make the boring plays, but the boring but positive plays. And Brock Purdy's going to make a stupid pick. The 49er defense is going to give up there's going to be some kind of blown play that they're going to give up to Patrick Mahomes. And the moment
they're known to do that too.
They're known to do it. And the moment that Patty sees it, you know, you might as well fucking hand the ball to whatever receiver's wide open down there. He might as well run down there and hand it to him because you know he's not missing that throw. It really comes down to the people who don't shift their emotions, who can stay even kill in big games like that.
I think that right now, when I'm looking at it, obviously, you know, we've got the monsters: Debo, Ayuk, CMC, fucking Kittle, Trent Williams, left tackle, best in the game, best to ever do it. Joey Bosa on the other side, Fred Warner. I mean, and this is something that I wanted to talk about because I'm sure they've talked about it on some of the talk shows. I think that Fred Warner is the key to the 49ers winning the game. And
elaborate.
I was going to say, people are going to ask why I say that. Fred Warner is the most athletic middle linebacker in the game. In the fucking game. The dude runs a 4.4, almost a 4.3 40. He's the best sideline to sideline middle linebacker in the game. Best middle linebacker, like I said, already in the game. He is the guy that leads the defense, right? Joey Bosa is going to do his thing, and he's got a black quarterback Huh? Oh, Nick, I'm sorry. Nick's gonna do his thing. He's got a black quarterback in the backfield, so you know he's feeling super. He licking his chops. Shout out, Nick. But Fred Warner's going to be the spy. He's going to be the guy that be calling the coverages. He's going to be the guy basically like adjusting the defense when Patrick Mahomes and them are trying to motion and open plays up. He's also going to be the guy that picks up fucking Travis Kelce when he comes across the middle. So that type of play, if he plays at an extremely high level, which I think he still will, but if he plays at MVP, defensive MVP level, he could single-handedly win them a championship. Because the offense is going to do what they're going to do, bro. Like, I mean, I don't genuinely believe that you're going to stop the offense.
The 49ers offense?
Yeah, I don't think you can stop the like in a general.
That Chiefs defense is different, though, bro.
Yes, they are different, and you played the best quarterback in the league this year in a totality standpoint in Lamar Jackson a couple weeks prior and did extremely well against him. But we already talked about that. That nigga needs just to fucking run for 150 yards.
Yeah, Purdy's gonna run. He ain't no bitch.
Nah, Purdy ain't no bitch. How does that feel, Lamar? You got this little small ass little white boy willing to run and get hit when he like literally 6 foot, maybe 210, like 200 pounds, like maybe 200 pounds, and he's going to get wetted up by these big ass 250 pound linebackers.
Have you seen that little girl that looks just like Brock Purdy?
No. That's
been going on social media. That's just crazy, bro. She looks just like Brock Purdy. Like
he's a child, bro. He's a whole ass. He's a man child. He's a child man, I should say. But either way, Fred Warner is going to have the most impact on the defense because there's going to be blown plays on defense for both sides. It happens, especially in big games. It happens. It's the times they happen the most, actually. And he's the guy that's going to have to keep everybody even keeled, as you mentioned. Because the defense are the type of guys that will come out there and fucking try to kill motherfuckers. Because defensive players and offensive players are two different types of people, bro. Defensive players want to rip your head off, where offensive guys are not trying to touch you. Like, they don't want to get hit, but defensive guys like hitting.
Yeah.
They like that shit. And it's all about keeping the discipline and understanding what's good and what's bad. And he has to be that leader to be able to step into that role and be dominant in his role. He is the QB spot. He is much more agile than Patrick Mahomes. He is probably the best middle linebacker to play against Patrick Mahomes because he can actually he's quick as all hell and smart as fuck. So those types of things I think could be really crucial to the win. And I do think, like I said, if he plays at a high level, and also the other point I wanted to make is I hope the Niners realize big plays will not beat the Chiefs. It is about keeping the ball, just like they did to Tom Brady, just like they do to all great quarterbacks, even like the Chiefs did at Lamar. They keep the ball, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, they keep the ball out of their hands as much as they can. So having slow, methodical drives, running the ball, having a lot of completions. That's why the clock, and that's why the Ravens, when they played the Chiefs, didn't have a lot of time, is because Patrick Mahomes didn't throw an incompletion for about 13 passes, so the clock was running the entire fucking time they had the ball. There was never a stoppage of time.
You have to play a perfect game. You can't. There's no room for error when you're playing the Chiefs. When you're playing dynasty teams, there is no room for error because they're coming in there prepared. I was watching First Things First with Nick Wright. Shout out Nick Wright, Chris Broussard. I personally think Nick Wright is probably. He's not the biggest analyst in the game, but in terms of just his wit and what he brings from a standpoint, he's definitely top 3 right now in sports analyst game. He don't get his credit, but Nick Wright is a dog.
That nigga thinks LeBron's the GOAT, bro. Fuck that nigga.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he thinks LeBron's a GOAT, and he's an actual Kansas City Chiefs fan, so you can understand how that can be insufferable at some points. But he just makes good takes, logical takes. I like him. He has a different point of view than most people, and I fuck with that. But he basically was talking about how Andy Reid gets super pissed if his players, give other teams any bulletin board material. If you've noticed what's going on right now, I haven't been keeping, I know you said you haven't been keeping up too much with what was going on, but 49ers players have been talking shit about the practice field. They've been, saying things about Kansas City, how they're ready to come and get revenge, and blah, blah, blah. If you notice how the Chiefs been speaking, they haven't said not one bad thing about the 49ers. I think that's the difference, bro. Because like I said, man, the 49ers are coming in too hyped up. This is just another fucking Sunday for the Chiefs, bro. This is another Sunday. Guess what? If they don't get it this year, we'll be back next year. This is another Sunday for them. They're really going to roll up. Niggas might sleep in that day. You know how the 49ers ain't going to sleep the night before. They're going to be thinking about it. They're going to be antsy and shit. Fucking Patrick Mahomes going to be watching Kermit the Frog. He going to be asleep by 9 o'clock. Straight Z, snoring like a baby. That alarm going to hit, and he going to be like, nah, I need 30 more minutes.
Travis going to get that top off from Taylor, that pregame top off before he goes. He ain't impressed. He ain't impressed. I mean, I think, personally, that's going to be great. But in terms from a prediction standpoint, because I'm going to predict how I want the game to go and who the team that I want to win over I mean, I don't like both teams, but the one that I don't hate as much. I'm saying 49ers 31-23 in an insufferable fucking game that I somehow will watch all of. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not to go with the Chiefs, man. Like I said, I made a whole fucking decade-plus mistake of constantly thinking that this was the year that Tom Brady wasn't going to do it. And I'm gonna try and learn from my mistakes and just realize that Patrick Mahomes just very well might be that next nigga. And I'm just not going to vote against him. If he's in big games, I'm not going to vote against him. You got to prove to me that you can beat this nigga, bro. Because I've seen
you got to fight for your right
to
Yay!
Oh, damn.
Now I will never
I'll
forget
do
what that
Akon.
I was just thinking what Travis Kelce said last year. Like, I thought was badass.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like the way it was.
I was thinking Akon. Fight for your right to love, yeah.
Oh, no.
Nobody wants to see us together.
Oh, God. I might have to get Monty to sing that instead of you, bro. Chill out.
Bro, don't do me like that, dog. My voice was pretty fire, yo. Like, that ass, though. Don't do me like that.
But on that note, what do you think the score will be?
I'm thinking, so Chiefs, I got 28. No, 27, 24 Chiefs.
Ooh, you got Butker putting it through the uprights for a W?
Yeah, good old reliable Butker doing it. Yeah, and I think the Chiefs would come out and win it towards the end of that game. And it's gonna be same old. This is gonna get old. We're gonna get tired of the Chiefs winning, but at the same time, you know, damn, it's just gonna be another year that I'm just sitting there thinking, like, why not us? Like, why can't this be us?
Because y'all lost to the motherfucking Green Bay Packers and J-Lo.
Hey, but listen here, though. Listen here. For all the people that talk shit to me my whole life, and they were asking Patrick Mahomes, who do you drive inspiration from as a quarterback? My nigga said Tony Romo.
I can't believe that.
My nigga said Tony motherfucking Romo.
Probably because Tony's stroking his dick on national television every fucking week.
Jim splashing all over them niggas, bro.
Nah, Tony Romo is beating on Patrick Mahomes' face on a consistent basis. Jim, I mean, you can't really stop this guy. I mean, he is just too good. This is just another thing that Patrick Mahomes does on a week-to-week basis, and we have to get used to it. If you're not used to it by now, Jim, you gotta get used to it now. He is going to have more championships, and he's going to continue to be the best quarterback in the world.
Hey. GOAT, recognize GOAT. GOAT, recognize GOAT. Tony Romo, greatest Cowboys quarterback all time. Debated with anybody. Come on, let's go. I'll debate it with anybody.
Didn't Troy win a ring?
Yeah, with 18 interceptions. Fuck out of here. Best defense, best offensive line, best fucking running back all time. Like,
didn't you have like the best defense this year and like a pretty damn good offensive line?
I said Tony Romo, nigga, not Dak Prescott.
But I'm just saying. And then the last portion of the Super Bowl, which is what the ladies typically tune in for mostly, if you're not a big football fan, is our halftime show. And this year we have the pleasure of having the usher, as I believe that Mike predicted at the beginning of, or like at one of our podcasts a little while ago.
Receipts, we got them.
Yeah, that usher will be performing, and want to get expectations from you. Obviously, I'll go. I mean, honestly, in this situation, I'll go first, just based off of what I've seen. Obviously, Usher just dropped a single. He's trying to build it. He's using his clout from the Super Bowl right now.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, you should. That's what the fucking. That's what the shit's for. He's got a show out here in Charlotte in like October. He's going on tour. This man's smart. He knows how it works. Usher has not been really relevant for years. Let's be honest. But he's still Usher.
Yeah.
And he is that guy. He will have your girl's panties wetter than you will ever get them type shit. Respectfully.
He will make your girl sweat in water if you don't know how to.
Yes. And you will not feel good. You will feel emasculated, actually, to that point.
Or you might be clapping. You might be on some cuck shit.
Yeah, if you're a cuck, dude, don't watch this shit. That's not 1%er type shit. Sorry. I don't fucking care. If you like that shit, even if you like that type of adult content, get off the shit.
But like the video first before you leave.
But like the video first before you
and subscribe.
And subscribe. You never have to, miss a notification if you do care to, become a 1%er and stop being a cuck. But on that same vein, I expect greatness from the man Usher himself, Usher Raymond. Usher. I expect greatness. I expect nothing less from Usher. Like, I expected with Rihanna last year, didn't expect shit from her, bro. She was fucking pregnant, and it turned out to be the way that I expected it to be shit. And there's so many things. He can dance. This man can sing. He was the Chris Brown before Chris Brown, and he is the emulation of a Michael Jackson-esque type of way of doing performances. He will make you feel it. He makes you feel encaptured. He makes you feel intense, which is important. Especially through a TV screen, especially if you're not there on site. And the people they bring out of the field, which is always so fucking weird for like a concert that lasts 20 minutes maybe. But I expect nothing less. I expect him to not only somewhere pop this new single that he dropped in there. Because I think I heard it the other day, and I think I heard it by accident, and it was just playing over and over again. It's pretty good. I like it. Very R&B-ish, which I love, but he's gonna have to get poppy. Keep the white girls engaged. Keep everybody engaged. Black women are gonna love him regardless. I mean, he's just that dude. But I expect greatness. And if I'm going to put it on the score level, I expect a 9 out of 10 from him. I don't expect perfection. I expect a 9 out of 10. Perfection is like, damn, I can't remember the last one I've seen that's been like perfection. Oh my God, they fucking lost.
UNC, bro. How we gonna beat Duke and lose to Clemson? Sorry.
We're gonna lose the fucking number 1 seed, bro. Come on.
Fucking A, bro.
Now we're gonna be
the only thing that helps us is that like we literally whoop every ranked team's ass.
Yeah, except for what do you call them at the beginning of the year?
I mean, yeah, there's a couple that we lost to at the beginning, but we played so many ranked teams and we beat majority of them.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to hear like your expectations of like Usher and like what you're looking to see from him and any types of things that you're necessarily like really excited to like see from him during his performance. Yeah,
so I'd be lying if I said that this is probably what I'm most excited for when it comes to the Super Bowl. I think this is well overdue, well deserved. Shout out Jay-Z because, you know, even though Rihanna wasn't that great, the West Coast was cool. It wasn't the best performance, but it was definitely a dope tribute. The names that Jay-Z has been bringing to these Super Bowls have just been immaculate, bro. Like, it's finally, we don't have these fucking, I remember at one point we were having these, like, who the fuck is this performing? Like, nah, it's got to be the biggest name.
I had those moments watching those with my parents. My mom's like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, I kind of know who this is. And I have to explain who this is to my mother.
Yeah, exactly. I think that Usher, this will be the best performance since Beyonce. And I'm excited for Usher because I think that he can win over a lot of he can win over
hard, bro.
He can win over, and that was the blackout year too.
Yeah, that's so good.
He can win over a lot of young fans Sunday. I really think that he can win over so many young fans because I think a lot of people, and I've seen on Twitter, man, people are hating on this. A lot of people say they're going to watch the SpongeBob Super Bowl halftime show because they're singing that, what's that one song that they got that they play in the Dome?
Oh, yeah.
They're performing that on the Nickelodeon broadcast.
I saw that shit. Well, like the little kids will watch it, but if you're an adult, you need to be watching the real shit.
People were shitting on Usher, man, and I just think I think it's out of line, dude, because, like, I really think Usher's going to show a lot of people what performing is like. Because what people don't understand is, man, he is, like, of what's out there right now, of A-list celebrity, he's the pinnacle of performance, man. When you think of Beyonce, when you think of Chris Brown, you got to put Usher right there, man. He has the voice, he has the dance moves, and I hope he puts on the rollerblades, bro. He could be the first Super Bowl halftime performer to perform on rollerblades, and this shit is not corny, bro. Like, he really be out there like Bow Wow in that fucking movie.
Yeah. T.I. and Bow Wow fucking, what's it called?
Was that Lottery Ticket?
No, it wasn't Lottery Ticket. It was, oh my God, Rollback or Rollbouts.
Roll bounce. Yeah.
That shit was heat. That is a black fucking staple, black movie staple right there. If
Yeah, he might as well bring out Babylon T.I. and just kind of reenact that shit.
Facts. I do think that. I mean, I wonder if Kiki's gonna be out there shaking ass this time too. Hey, digging up skeletons. But yeah, I agree. I mean, he's definitely. I'll be disappointed if it's underwhelming. Like, obviously, I have high expectations, and I am okay with being disappointed. Trust me, I've been disappointed many times in my life. But I do believe that Usher could, like, I agree with you, could have the best performance since the Queen herself. Over a decade ago.
I don't see how he could fail. Like, I think Usher knows exactly. I mean, I watched the Usher Club Shay Shay podcast episode. I think he knows exactly what's at stake. This is something that he's wanted his whole life, and I don't think we've ever seen Busher. I'm blood gang in this bitch. Hell no. Nobody come this way. No. I'm suburb gang in this bitch. But we've never seen Usher with a budget at this magnitude. He has all the resources in the world. Usher can do literally anything he wants. I really feel like there is no other person that we should be more excited to see a Super Bowl halftime performance from than Usher or Chris Brown. I think those two guys could put on we've seen Beyonce and we've seen all the other ones who can put on a great show. I think those are the two main guys that come to the top of my head that can absolutely throw down on a Super Bowl halftime show. And it's going to be epic on all levels. I expect a lot, and I think he's going to deliver. I'm excited for it. And for all the people hating, man, I hope he sways you over.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be phenomenal. And we'll see. I'm definitely, like I told you, man, somehow I'm going to end up watching this whole game because it's the Super Bowl, and I feel like I'm almost obligated to do so. But, like...
You doing anything for it?
To what?
You doing anything for it?
Hell no, dude. Hell no. I don't even want to entertain it, let alone... I don't even know what's going to go on. I might just end up watching it by myself because my roommate's not really into the Super Bowl or, like, into sports like that, aside from golf. So I'm like, I might just end up vibing at home by myself watching it. And that's cool with me. If people got plans, hit me up. But... I mean, and granted, I won't be working for another week after that, so my Monday gonna be looking right. I can get fucked up too if we want to, so we vibey. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm curious to see what all he's gonna do. What's gonna be different from some of his shows. What's gonna be similar to some of his shows you could see online that he's performed in the past, and how he's gonna evolve it to a different level, like you said, with the budget he has currently at his disposal. And personally, it could be something that could be quite remarkable if it's done at the level that we all think that Usher can be at from a performance standpoint. I don't doubt that he's going to do his thing, but there's always the hesitation because I honestly thought Rihanna's show would be okay. I didn't think it was going to be as bad.
Well, she was just pregnant.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, but don't ever have no other pregnant fucking motherfuckers up there ever.
No. Yeah. Put them bitches on maternity leave. We'll catch them another time.
What was it Beyonce that performed at the Grammys when she was pregnant and like she revealed her pregnancy that one time?
Yeah. And damn, you know how fucking crazy it would have been if Taylor Swift didn't reject the Super Bowl performance?
They would have definitely said this shit was rigged. They would have definitely said this shit was rigged.
Bro, like the amount of money that would have been running through that bitch would be insane.
Respectfully, you would have seen more women at that game than men.
Oh, that game would have looked like a fucking Taylor Swift concert.
She's like, I'm used to this. Like, stadium? I need Rose Bowl.
Like, there would have been little middle school girls at that game.
Yeah. Wouldn't even know what the hell is going on.
And we had Chiefs home field advantage too because
they're rooting for Travis.
Yeah, they always root for
Don't let Travis Kelce try to break up with Taylor Swift.
They don't even say the Chiefs; they just say Travis.
Yeah, they say Travis. Let's go, Travis. They're on defense. Let's go, Travis. All right, sure. It is actually insane to me, and it is. I told you about this, bro. It's starting to piss me the hell off. Every single time the Chiefs do something good, they will flash to the fucking booth. Every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. I'm like, bro, they have never flashed as much to the booth unless it's Jerry Jones because they love seeing Jerry's reaction when shit be going wrong. That shit be funny as fuck.
But at the same time, I feel like we also haven't had like a star of that stature that's like known to be at the games like that. Like we see it more in basketball. Like we get big A-list celebrities and whatnot, but we've never really seen a Taylor Swift type celebrity that we know is just going to be at the game every single time.
Yeah. I mean, we're excited. I hope you guys are excited, not necessarily for the Super Bowl, but for Usher. And I'm excited to see what's coming in the next few weeks. Carti, possibly Ye, a bunch of other stuff going around. Personally, like we had another topic. Honestly, just want to quickly show on the Apple Vision Pros really quick. They're awful. That shit is overpriced. I don't think anybody should buy them. They are, unless Apple's trying to sponsor. And them not being wireless is the most ghetto shit I've ever seen in my life. Imagine walking around with a headset that has a cord on. Don't be that loser like I saw on the subway, fucking trying to do shit like do your Apple Vision in public. You're not fucking cool, dude. You're a loser. You just spent $3,000 for whatever the fucking price is. Something just absurd. Bro, you're paying people's rents. Like, double their rent. Triple their rent for some
house
people.
notes.
So what?
Said house notes and shit like that, bro.
Yeah, you're paying notes. Like, you're paying like a quarter of I don't even know, bro. Like, there's so many things. You can go on a nice-ass fucking vacation. Let's
be real. He paying a lot of people's bank accounts.
Yeah, a lot of people. Most Americans. Bro.
Yeah.
Most Americans. You're spending what some people spend on their credit cards in a month. On one purchase.
See, the thing is, I can see past what's today. Obviously, I think they'll get it right eventually. There's no need to buy this first generation. I might go to like the local Best Buy and put it on and try it out, and like that was cool, that was fun.
Ain't no fucking way they got that shit out. Ain't no way. Niggas will pull up and they were guns trying to steal that.
You don't even think they got it at the Apple Store?
Bro, the Apple Store is like a fucking fortress, bro. You can't touch anything without a fucking Apple employee tapping your shoulder. You've been in that hole. You know how it is. There's fucking 50 employees and they can't get anybody in a
No, I don't be going to the Apple Store. The Apple Store is a scam, bro. I don't fuck with the fact that I go to the store and I'm looking to buy something and they're like, we're gonna order it. Like, nigga, why do you think I came to the store?
Inventory out the ass in the back. Like, I picked up my phone from the Apple Store a while ago when I got it out here. And my mom was like, oh, your phone's ready. I'm like, word. Pull up. I had to wait 20 minutes to pick up a phone.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
A phone, bro. Like, nigga, this is Apple.
One thing I've noticed about the Apple Vision Pro, and the reason why I'm not a big fan from what I've seen so far is I just haven't seen the use case that really drives like everybody to get it yet. Like from what I've seen, it's cool, it's new, and I'm glad that Apple's trying to do like new shit again because it's been a hot minute since we've got anything innovative from them. But there's no use case that I've only saw one use case that actually makes sense to me. If you wanted to buy this, and this is only for the 1%ers. But you know, you can pull up a bunch of strings, and the only use case I can really think of is if like you wanted to pull up this episode of the After Dark podcast, and then maybe one of our Black Reacts on this side, and then one of our previous episodes on that side, just so you can have like everything running. That's the only thing I could think of. You're just trying to, you just want to watch us a bunch of times and get us a bunch of views, spam us a bunch of views, and like them all at the same time. I like that. So if you got an Apple Vision Pro, do that. But other than that, man, like I don't need like they got like this one dude showed like all the sports shit, and he had like 10 fucking teeth. I can't watch all that shit at once. The fuck, like what?
No.
They got like the screens posted up on the house. Like I don't need that.
Like I usually, and let's be honest, like when it comes to games, if it's NBA playoffs is the only thing that matters. So one game's always on at a time. Sometimes two, I think, during like the divisionals or the first round. And then when it's March Madness, that's the only one that would make sense to me. Or maybe like football season a little bit if you're betting, because usually you're only interested in like one or two games on Sundays. It's usually your team and then maybe somebody like, you got money on or something.
You know what's crazy? The crazy thing is, I think Meta's closer to what I would be looking for in a gadget like that than Apple Vision Pro, like their Ray-Ban smart glasses.
Yeah, I tried. Did I tell you I tried those? I had like a guy I met on Halloween. Well, I've met him before. He works for Meta out in South Carolina and does sales for them out there. And I met him on Halloween. He's a friend of a friend. And he was like, yeah, these are Meta glasses. I'm like, what?
Are they dope?
He's like, yeah. Dude, they're fucking sick. He's like, all right. He's like, yeah, like, do you want to play music? I'm like, sure. Like, let me see how it is. Bro, I can blast that shit. And it literally, I'm like, I think I was playing like Fiend or something. Some like overly obnoxiously loud song. And we're all standing in like a pretty small area. And he's like, I'm like, yo, can you like hear this? And I'm like, nodding my head. I'm like, can you hear this? He's like, no, bro. I can't hear a thing. And I take the glasses off and they're still going. And you cannot hear a thing. You can look at like anything I said, and they're reasonably priced. He literally said that like I would encourage.
Oh, they're like $200, like regular Ray-Bans.
Yeah, they're so useful. He's like, I wear them everywhere. Like, so nice. Like, and they're classy looking. You can do everything you need to do without looking like a weirdo. Like, and obviously he got them for free. But like,
I've considered. I'm probably going to get those at some point.
They're sick as fuck, dude. I told him, I was like, I'll probably get them at some point. Like, I don't know yet, but like whenever I'm feeling it, I'll probably just like grab them and like keep them moving. And I was like, I'd love this. And I think I told him, I was like, I'd love for you guys to like push out other versions, obviously, eventually, to like get some upgrades and things like that. And he's like, yeah, like I know that like the IT guys are talking about this, that, and the other they want to do. And I was like, oh, sick. So
it reminds me of the Google Glass.
Yeah, Google Glass. Same idea. I think Meta's going to be the better price, probably more useful overall, and then not as like obnoxious too. That's the thing. It's like it's got to be classy looking. It's got to be like, oh, like that's just a casual pair.
Well, the biggest difference I've noticed is that Meta is built for on the go, for everyday life, and Apple kind of feels more dystopian to me, where it's like Apple feels like if they would have released this in COVID, it would be an absolute fucking banger. Like, everybody would be getting their hands on this shit because it's perfect for a COVID type situation.
But weren't they talking about doing it during COVID? Not releasing it, but they brought the idea like around that time, like towards the end, maybe like time of COVID.
Yeah, and like the initial reaction to the original like release of the concept was like everybody was going crazy over it. I remember we reviewed it and I thought it was cool. Yeah. I thought it was going to be the future. But now that it's here, it's like it almost feels like, oh, like I don't need this anymore. Like this is made to keep me in the house. Niggas are trying to get out the house now.
Yeah, I saw one of Giannis's brothers, Giannis, I can't even pronounce their names. Had them, and I'm like, bro, they can just throw the money at it because it doesn't really matter for them.
Oh, I mean, if I was them, I'm obviously copying it.
I'm just copying just to copy, just to say I got it.
Yeah.
Even if I ain't gonna use it like that, like I can just give it to somebody else if they really want it. I wouldn't even ask them to buy it off me. But like, it's one of those things, man. It's like, I agree with you. Like after trying the Meta glasses, I never thought I was gonna have an opportunity to try the Meta glasses before I got bought them. Like actually, better use them in real time the way I want to. But yeah, I would definitely purchase those. I mean, I think that's an easy purchase. Like that's something you don't even think about type of purchase. Oh,
yeah, I would get those. I really want the translucent lenses too, so they change whenever, no matter what lighting you're in. Like I would just keep it on my face. Why not?
Yeah, it's casual, looks classy. Like it's classy. You can literally wear them anywhere. anywhere. Imagine pulling up to like a black tie event with Apple Vision Pros on. You would look like the weirdest motherfucker on the planet. You would literally be like, dude, what's wrong with this guy? Like,
yeah, you look like a fucking doofus, bro. You can't. And the problem with the Apple Vision Pros is, one, they're made to be stationary. Two, like, they don't seem like they're not something I can put on and be hanging out with you and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we chilling in a room together. We're not gonna both have Apple Vision Pro shits on.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I'm
like, hey, bro, can you fucking move over? You're like in the middle of my fucking ESPN screen.
Yeah. Like if we had the Meadows on, we could casually be doing what we need to do here while also like not taking our attention away from one another at the same time. Like it's a way of like.
And we don't look like doofuses. Like, I can sit there and look at you, do what I need to do, and I just have glasses on, and I look like I'm tapping my fucking glasses. Instead of me having these big-ass goggles with these fake-ass eyes that don't even look like eyes in the front. Like, what the fuck?
Look like some alien type shit. Maybe they're just giving us a preview of what aliens look like. You think Apple's seen aliens before? I think they have.
Hell yeah.
You know that nigga Steve Jobs saw alien before he died, and that was years ago. And they said, I've already seen the aliens. That's why.
You know what's crazy? They had this patent written the day that the Apple iPhone released. Exact model, exact written, like drawn out, exact shape. So I can only imagine what the fuck they have like just planned already, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like if they knew that they were rolling this out all the way back then, like what the fuck they know they're gonna be rolling out now, dude?
Yeah, 2050 gonna be a scary world because if they already got 2050 prepared, they already got some shit on a different level, and they're developing it ahead of pace. Dude, like, shout out Steve Jobs, RIP to an absolute fucking legend.
Fuck Tim Cook.
Yeah. But, hey, we look, if you throwing sponsorships, bro, hey, we here. Well, you know, we're your biggest fans.
Yeah. That wasn't even me, man. That clip was out of context, Tim. I didn't even mean that shit.
That was something completely different. But I know that for the people out there listening, our 1%ers, the people we're trying to get better, everything's going on. One thing I want to say in the show, man, got a friend going through a tough time right now, but I want to say one thing that I think is really important, especially as we move into the spring and the summer months and like it starts to get nicer out. Everyone goes through the seasonal depression, right? Everybody has, like, when it's cold out, like, dude, nobody wants to do anything. Nobody wants to talk to anybody. No one wants to see anybody. Like, I think it's weird. I think it's even weird to get in relationships in the wintertime, personally. It's just weird. Like, that's me.
Isn't that, like...
Cupping season? No. Yeah. It's just a woman. That's I'm talking about a relationship. Not like, hey, I'm going to have you for, like, 3 months and we're going to dip type shit.
Gotcha.
But... people are more lively in the warmer times. People are more willing to do things. People are better people when it's warmer outside. Personally, they're just happier. So I want to tell everybody, guys and girls, keep your fucking heads up. Shit's going to get better, bro. Ain't nothing can hold you back. The only first thing stopping you is you. That is it. If you want to be successful, the difference between successful people and people that are just average is consistency. So whatever you're trying to do, be consistent at it starting right now. Do not wait till tomorrow. Do not wait till the next day. Don't wait till next week. You don't know if tomorrow's promised. Make sure you're taking advantage of what you got. And I'll let my boy Mike take his leave.
I can't think of a better way to end it than that, man. So for the fellas out there listening, listen, man, they only want a 1% nigga. I ain't even got to do no extra explaining this time because my boy Sterling just gave you the rundown. So you know what it is. Quit your bitching and get your bread up. For the ladies out there listening, he don't want you, sweetie, but it's okay because you're still beautiful and powerful and will always love you. It's the After Dark Podcast. Until next time.